to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in pop culture. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Let's start with our morning pop. Halsey's receiving a lot of love for showing off her armpit hair on the new cover of Rolling Stone magazine. YouTube stars Jake Paul and Tana Mongeau are engaged, and meanwhile, wedding prep is underway for Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner's second wedding in Paris. Now let's review our favorite stories of the day.
A Norwegian island called Summerroy is petitioning to stop the clock. Since the area receives total sunlight from May 18th through July 26th, the residents have proposed to lose track of time to make the most of their sunlight. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I have to say first, this is like an insanely small island,
Right.
because obviously this wouldn't work in like New York or somewhere substantial.
Yeah.
But it's not a horrible idea. I mean, if it's light all the time.
I mean, they say it already. Apparently, like, fishermen go fishing when it's supposedly nighttime. Like,
Yeah.
And people just live by their own lives. Like, I think they put signs on their doors to let people know when you can, like, knock or not knock. It's a very, like, in a weird, like, at first I read it, I'm totally against it. I need time. I need to know what time it is. But then I'm like, you know what? What is time, right?
Yeah,
Like, let's embrace
agree.
it.
I think time is one of the dumbest made-up concepts we've ever created. I think it's like, you know, we're slaves to time and it sucks. And I think that even though, you know, right now we have time where we're living, I think we should totally implement the sign thing, because sometimes it's like 3 p.m. and people think they can just engage with me, and I'm like, fuck no, like, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I think we do need signs. Even when it's in the
Yeah.
afternoon, you can either at your desk, Shannon sign on the back of her chair, do not bother her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I
people
appreciate
can't read my face apparently, and I'm like, I do not want to interact. I'm going through a really hard time in my life right now where the barista at the coffee shop I go to every morning keeps trying to high-five me, and he
Ooh.
won't stop even though I'm like, I do not want to touch you.
Right.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
bad. You have had a bad track of sort of barista interaction.
Yeah, it's been really bad. So you know what? I really need a sign.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the hotel sign, do not disturb, come in. I use that all the time when I'm at hotels. That's the key,
Yeah.
that's clutch. Having that on my door would be great. Having that on my person would be even better.
Right.
But I think there is a certain sort of island mentality, whether it's like the Caribbean or in Norway, where like when you're on this small place, you are in your own little world. Island time is a saying for a reason. And it looks like all of the industry here doesn't have to happen at a certain time.
Right.
So why would they have time? Why couldn't
Yeah,
they
it
just like
doesn't
chill
seem
and
like
relax?
there's industry.
You're right, they just fish.
Yeah.
They're island people. Yeah, I mean, for me, though, I do like darkness, and I like sleeping, and I like, so I would
Well,
get...
we didn't say we don't like darkness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's the thing. I would struggle with living on this island. Like, you really need some good blackout shades, like,
Oh,
get
yeah.
them up in there.
Yeah,
but
like
that's
November
bad.
through January, they don't get any sun, so you'd be so happy during that
You're
time.
so right.
No,
You're
I would be
craving
so
the
depressed.
sunlight.
That's so depressing, though, those 3 months.
I don't know how
without-
people live in
Yeah.
these Nordic countries because of the light issue. It's
Right.
like, how can you have like 3 months of darkness?
I don't know. That sounds so miserable.
Isn't-
When I wake up and it's like black outside, I'm just like, oh, I'm depressed. I don't want to go out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that would make those 3 months really tough.
I know, but then you got sunlight nonstop.
Nonstop.
That's a lot. I mean...
They're
bet
like,
these
you
people are
can't
just
tell your kids
crazy.
come home before dark because that just means come home before August.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to move there. In other news, a new drug to boost women's sex drive has been approved in the U.S. The drug named Relisi is a shot women can give themselves that increases sexual interest for hours.
They should have named it Khaleesi.
I know.
Yeah.
Thank God that something like this is finally FDA approved and on the market. The only thing is, I hate that it's an injection. Like,
That is,
a shot. That's such a deterrent. Like, if it was just like the little blue pill, like Viagra, I'm sure women would be much more likely to take this. But because it's a shot, once again, women are fucking fucked.
right, and the side effects are pretty severe. Like if you drink alcohol, then it causes fainting and low blood pressure. Nausea is like a pretty common side effect. So again, you're taking the shot, but it's not just like, it's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've already know from history that like people don't really care about the side effects that women have to deal
True.
with when taking things like birth control. Like recently that birth control that they were developing for men got tossed to the side because they couldn't deal with the side effects, which were just like
Irritability.
dizziness,
Right.
moodiness, and I'm like, you know, like we have to deal with literal brain tumors. It's like, really
blood
bad.
clots
Yeah.
and like birth control has a lot. This is how I felt about this as well. I'm like, I want women to feel empowered. I want women to have options, especially if they have some sort of sexual dysfunction. But I also don't want women to feel like they have to take something with horrific side effects just to please their lover. It's like, you
Yeah.
gotta take care of your body.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like, especially when this stuff, like even some women's groups were like, you know, this is not fully tested. We don't know the long-term effects. Like, please proceed with caution.
Yeah.
It should definitely be for you.
Yeah.
Like, you want to get it on more.
Yes.
Or you have a trouble with it, go
Well,
for it,
why
girl.
would you take this for men? Don't care if you're enjoying it when you have sex.
But,
I don't,
like,
I don't understand. How does this help?
Yeah.
Arousal
Also,
and
too-
lubrication are part of it.
Right. Also,
Yeah,
being
but-
an
Important to
attentive
know,
lover.
it
Yeah.
doesn't make your sexual experience better by any means.
Yes. Right.
At all. It only makes you want sex. It doesn't make you have better sex.
Right.
And a portion
So,
of this is right. And the doctors do have to predetermine if like there are not other issues contribute,
Yeah.
like problems in your relationship that maybe your boyfriend, husband just is not a good
Right.
lover.
Yeah.
That could be an issue, and then that just makes you cutting that guy out instead of injecting yourself with poison. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Stop
well, it
that.
highlights the fact that arousal for women is very different than men. So I remember a couple years ago, there was a drug libido, which is a little pill that you can take, and there's another one called Adia, and both of those realize that you can't just like
Aren't
increase.
those daily pills?
You can take them when you want them.
Oh, okay.
But those pills and like Viagra just increase blood flow to the genitals. But for women, arousal is so much more complicated than that, and so they had to find a way to like increase it in the brain and like mess with the hormones in the brain, which is what this drug helps with. But again, if you're adjusting the hormones in your brain, like you have to just be careful.
Yeah, I also would say there's tons of more natural, actually completely natural ways to fight this issue that I would encourage before you start injecting yourself with this because, we're already
Hey,
talking
like
about it's
what?
not that great.
Yeah.
Just Google it. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, literally, google.com, the internet is at your fingertips,
Oh,
baby.
I felt like you were gonna go into.
You were gonna share
No,
something.
I just think it's like scary to do this, especially because women's sexuality is always being weaponized against them. So this just like not to sound like a scary Black Mirror episode, but I could see this being the use of this drug being used against a woman specifically in a courtroom. Let me say.
Oh.
Right.
I'm just
Oh man.
I mean, I don't think Shannon's that far off. I mean,
Yeah.
women's
But
sexual.
I also thought this was like a good development.
It's
like
good.
I don't think I
But
see
everything
that.
that comes good for women also comes with a price. That is history.
That's real.
It literally is. Everything that we enjoy is always used against us. And that's how we just always have
Right.
to be mindful of that. I'm sorry, that's my experience as a woman, and there's nothing but facts on the internet of it. So,
Yeah.
be mindful.
Nothing but facts on the
use
internet.
everything, but there's always a risk.
All facts.
I also think they were saying this is more probably successful or being used mainly in women who are premenopausal
Yes.
or
Yeah.
perimenopausal because that's when you start to have some issues with lubrication and arousal. So it's definitely not something that's being marketed to younger girls, which I think is
Right.
really important.
Yeah.
It's for women at a certain stage in their life where they maybe need a little
Yeah, like
assistance. And I
anything.
think it's great to have that.
Yeah, consult your doctor, do
Resource.
what's best for you. I
Yeah.
just think it's funny when you were talking. God, men are just so simple.
Blood flow.
We are barbarians. Like, I mean, how have we been in charge
Tell
for
us
so
how
long?
you're barbarians. Tell us three women how men suck.
I think you guys get it.
Well, by the pure
Google
instance
it.
that all they have to do is take
Google it. Google history.
Just Google it.
a pill that increases blood flow, and that's
Isn't
all they
that so
need.
simple? It's
Women,
all
it's
that
so
needs
much
to
more
happen.
complicated.
It's all just blood flow to here. That is it. I'm ready to go. God.
You remember that Sex in the City where Samantha took Viagra, though?
No, I don't.
Yeah, she like took Viagra and it made her aroused. I'm pretty sure that was scientifically inaccurate, but then the guy was like, "You can't have any more Viagra," because she just like wanted to have sex.
Oh, you can
all
buy
night.
like female Viagra. Like when I was in
Ginseng.
Amsterdam and stuff, I saw them like just sell stuff like that over the account.
Really?
Yeah, but I
really?
don't know what it was.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Google.
FDA approved.
Go-
There's
science,
also
man.
like all this like THC and CBD products that do the same thing that I would trust way more than
Oh,
this.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I suggest that to some friends who have had intimacy issues. I'm like, you guys should just smoke some weed together.
Well, CBD products are about to be illegal.
Yeah. And honestly, I've had friends come back and be like, we
Illegal.
did, and it helped. So just saying.
Illegal.
Yeah.
It's
CBD is
natural. It
becoming
doesn't
illegal
cause
in New
much.
York.
Shout out to Miss Heather putting that hummus CBD in her genitals. She's like a feminist icon in my book.
Oh, Heather Gardner, in case
I love
you missed
her.
it.
Shout out. I miss her. I can't wait for
miss
Friday.
Heather. Where is she? Well, guys, moving on, a new Elite Daily article details the horror of sending a screenshot to the wrong person. One false move can lead to a sticky situation, especially when you accidentally text a screenshot from your crush to your crush. Have you guys ever done
God, that's
Yeah,
horrible.
more than once.
this? Have you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm always texting the wrong person. Like if I'm thinking about someone or talking about them, instead of sending it to the person I'm talking to them with, I'll just send it to the person I'm thinking of. And I've also had things happen. Like I was one time telling someone that my friend was being really selfish and self-absorbed, and I dropped my phone, and it somehow opened up on our
No.
text messages and sent an audio recording of me being
No.
like, she's so selfish and self-centered, and I was like, fuck.
Oh,
What did you
my-
do?
Nothing.
You can't come
Did they
back
Just
from that.
ignored it. I don't know. I mean,
You just ignored it.
yeah, I just ignored it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is a nightmare. I've never done I always fear the screenshot because I've sent Allie. I'm always afraid of screenshotting someone's. I screenshot texts of people like venting about someone.
Yeah.
Send it to Allie or you or whoever. I'm like, oh God, if I send it to this person, I'm ruined. What I have done before is in a group text about how one time we were all invited to a party and I said, oh, someone is not invited because that person hates her. And then that person who I said is hated is in it and responded was totally fine. But I wrote, mistake, 3 times, like reacting to it, but like writing it out. And I was like, oh God, this made it worse,
Made it so much worse.
God, that doesn't feel good.
No, it felt terrible. I had to I then texted the girl like, I'm sorry that I didn't mean to. She's like, I know the other girl hates me. I don't care. I was like, okay, cool.
Thanks to my like functioning OCD, it's like a low grade, but it's there. I really look at text all the time because I'm so fearful of sending. So whenever I'm talking shit about somebody through text, I look like 3 times at the name before I send it. So I've actually never sent it to the wrong person. Not the one. But I will send like arbitrary text like, oh, I'll be there in 5 minutes, and my mom will be like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I have seen you cross streams on group chats though.
Yeah. For sure.
Group chats can be confusing.
And that's what I mean. But it's always like low grade. It's nothing like too shit talky.
Yeah.
But it's like, could it be interpreted other ways?
Scary. My sister one time, I remember she was chatting with a guy and like he called her some sort of flirty name and she screenshotted it and was meant to send it to me and be like, see, isn't this flirty? Sent it right back to him. And he responded being like, just so you know, I call everyone that. But then kept talking to her and eventually like asked to be with her. And she was like, you're a douche.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so suck on that.
I think he also asked everyone to be with him.
Well, this article does outline some like situations like that where like this woman has a really great first date. It's like they were clicking, they had drinks for hours, and like she's gonna send a screenshot of their text or like, this is my future husband. Sent it to him, and then the second date they had, because he forgave her, or whatever, was so awkward. They never saw each other again.
That one
That's
really,
so sad.
that story really bummed me out because I feel like if you have a genuine enough connection with someone, I don't know that you should let that put you off so much. Like, you know how people text with one another. Yeah. Maybe you would be like forgiving enough to be like, that's cute, that means they're into me.
Well, he obviously wasn't that into her.
Yeah.
Right, he obviously wasn't.
Sadly.
Yeah.
And guys are just sort of like that. If you show interest too quick, they're like, nope, she wants to get married tomorrow and I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
And so they bail.
That sucks.
That is kind of what guys initially are like, I don't want commitment. Then when you are committed, they're like, you're mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like, it's a weird, like, it just, they fear it. And then once they are together, it's like, you don't look at anyone else. No one can. I'm like,
Yeah, you're right. What is
it's
that?
weird.
It's called a domestic situation.
Yeah. That's an issue.
What do you guys think about like the progress of maybe one day having text that we can take back? Like, why doesn't that exist yet?
Why doesn't that exist? Is that
It exists in
technology?
Gmail, like now Gmail, like for a while
And
you can.
Instagram, DMs. I'm
Yeah.
always unsending shit.
Really?
Yeah. It just is so even if it's like a typo, or if I send something and I'm like, I should have worded it differently, or I think of it, then I'll just.
How do you unsend it in Instagram DM?
In the DM, you just hold down and then you hit unsend.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah,
I
so
think you
easy.
should. I think you should get like the way Gmail works, like a time limit.
30
like,
seconds.
Within the first 30 seconds, you can.
30 seconds is too quick. You need the first 5 minutes.
No, because by then they see it.
Yeah, I think it's like if let's say you need some
2 minutes.
records of
2
proof.
minutes.
Yeah.
Let's say you need someone who really is bullying you on text or whatever. I want that proof to be there.
Yeah.
I don't want them to unsend that. I saw
They're
that.
saying.
I'm just saying, like people like you're texting
Are
someone.
you getting
want them-
bullied through text?
No.
Every day is an intervention with you.
You should be able to not unsend it quickly because you're being bullied.
No, I'm just saying,
I don't
if you're
understand.
texting someone in an argument or whatever, you don't want them to be able to unsend everything
got
a day later
Yeah.
and be like, look how Lucas
no,
looks
not
and
a day later, not a day
I
later.
think
never
a
said
minute
that.
should be.
I think a minute.
Okay, guys.
But why doesn't that exist?
Well, I'm sure
I
it
don't
doesn't.
know.
I don't know. But to Shannon's point, the thing that scares me the most is the butt dial, where you're talking, and that has happened.
That's so over, dude.
Many. No, it happens.
Dials
Yeah.
are over.
No, they're
Oh, it
not.
happens.
Well, I've actually called people all the time.
All the time.
Why? Isn't your phone locked?
But like
Sometimes it
sometimes you just you use it and then you put it in your pocket and it doesn't lock right away.
Right.
No, you shut it. Never have a butt dial. Just go like this.
You guys ever butt dials?
Oh.
No?
I
People
butt
don't
maybe
butt
it's
dial
just me.
anymore.
I butt dialed someone the other day by accident. Well, I didn't butt
Your
dial.
guys are lazy. Just lock your phone.
It was
No more butt
it was
dials.
open and I was scrolling.
No,
and
no,
I hit,
open.
Okay.
Shouldn't be open.
Don't ever open your
Don't
phone.
ever open your
Never
phone.
open your phone.
Never open your phone.
People who butt dial, I'm like, you're a granny. Shut your phone.
You call me a granny every day.
No, all of you today. all of you today are be grannies.
You're just mad because I told you to Google stuff.
I'm fucking pissed now.
I you guys are old.
Whenever I send a text and want to unsend it, I imagine there's a little phone person who runs from my phone to their phone and grabs the text and brings it back.
Like a little text operator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is how texting works.
Yeah.
That is
Text-
science.
A little texty boy.
Well, speaking of science, a recent study suggests small horn-like spikes could grow on our skulls, and smartphones may be the culprit behind this change. Researchers hypothesize that it is due to poor posture from craning heads forward as a result of increased phone and mobile device usage.
I want everybody right now in the audience just touch. I mean, does anybody have little anything poking out? Raise your hand if you do. Clap. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Oh, he does. All right, we've got one.
Got a little one. Well, Shannon,
You're
that could be-
evolving faster
that's-
than the
that's
rest of
from
us.
your experience as a great member of the Church of Satan, right?
Yes, yeah. And I also have them here.
Yeah.
But Diana, she always corrects my horn.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a lot of makeup.
They're beautiful.
It looks
though.
great.
They're beautiful.
Thank
horns.
you. Thank
It
you.
looks great.
I have horns too.
Where?
The Jewish horns.
Get it.
Everyone always says Jews have horns.
What?
The anti-Semites. I
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I was like, who are these people?
She's unlocking very old anti-Semitism on Bill Brunch. 'Cause why not? Why not
guess-
talk about
yeah.
it? Why not?
I'm not up to date on like what they call.
I guess, I don't know enough about anti-Semitism to know that.
I always
reference.
have to cover up my horns before I come to work.
Well, that's good.
Do you wanna call out the anti-Semites and tell them that they're bad?
If you're anti-Semitic, you are shit.
Great job.
And but with this article, we should mention, I think you guys probably saw it on Twitter and Facebook going viral. There are a lot of people who dispute this,
Yeah.
who say like it takes so much more than just like bending down to then grow horns, that the human body bones don't work this way. So I
That's
think
not what our producer Max would say.
he's very convinced we're all gonna have horns, let's say in a year. Like he's very convinced
It's
that's how
once
fast
in 5 years.
Darwinism, evolution works this way, because this is gonna survival of the fittest. People with horns will win. But
Yeah,
you know.
I'm gonna be so pissed if I grow horns before I grow titties. Like, that's
Oh.
just gonna be fucked up, dude. Like I'm
still time.
48 years old and I still don't have titties and I'm gonna have horns. Like I'm gonna be like, look at the phone titties. But there's no titties.
It doesn't-
You're gonna now be
Fair.
looking at your phone
doesn't
through
seem
your breast and be like, just like,
I just
but-
be like, yeah, ooh, look at this.
Why will that horn help us? By the way, they're saying it's not a horn. The media's been calling it
Yeah,
a
it's
horn.
not a horn.
fake news.
And
Yeah.
also, a lot of people, such as the University of Wisconsin's anthropology department and a plethora of scientists at Ivy League institutes, have said that this study is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Right.
But just tell me why the horn would help.
But they found one guy with it, so that's
Yeah.
why we're talking about.
Why would this
Well,
horn
it's more
help?
than one guy.
Yeah, I know.
haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, but I guess that it would help like pull back and balance so that you're not just like and then your skull falls
Yeah.
off and you're decapitating yourself all the time and you're like, oh, what's my head doing over there? Don't make my severed head give you a blowjob. That's weird.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it like anchors it, because our neck's always hurt, and it's sort of like I saw babies, if they're born with this, they wouldn't be like this in the beginning. They would like be able to hold their head.
Yeah.
Imagine a baby being like this. the
Yeah,
whole
that was a
time.
great
It's like-
baby impression. Can you do that for more time?
Uh,
Babies are so weird. They
Babies
can't
are
hold
so
their
dumb.
heads
Yeah,
up.
that's
dumb.
weird. You always have to support the baby's head.
Yeah, they don't have the horn.
Yeah, what if you just held it up and didn't support the head? Would it just be like,
Yes, it would.
oh, not mine, not my baby. You just hide it under a pillow again.
And then it's still there, because
Yeah.
babies, they grow from Cabbage Patch.
They
This is true.
do.
They come from plants.
Babies crawl out of all places. Like they might crawl out of the cushion in those couches.
Watch out.
We have lots
Check
of
under your
babies.
couches. Y'all have babies for yourselves to take home. This guy's like, leave me alone, lady.
The evolution thing is really interesting though, because our craniums are the thing that have
evolution
evolved.
thing is so interesting.
I mean, if you look back at like Neanderthals, our craniums are the things that have evolved the most. And so experts are always kind of theorizing what humans will look like in 1,000 years, and 10,000 years, and 100,000 years. And they do think that our cranium will continue to grow. So our heads will get bigger, our foreheads will get bigger, and our eyes will get bigger because of the
Right.
like ozone layer and solar system and all this
I
stuff
feel
that's
like
happening.
I look like that human. I have a 5 head, and my eyes are big.
Your eyes are pretty big, yeah.
So I feel like I am kind of what we're gonna
Yeah,
look like.
that's like what one scientist
looks
thinks
like me.
No, you
humans will look like in 100,000 years.
No, it looks like that robot. What? That's that robot, Alita, whatever, from that movie.
Yeah.
I've not even seen it, but I saw the trailer 1,000 times. That's what you
Alita?
look like. It's like this fighting robot. Did you see Avengers
one that
trailer?
flips over?
Yeah, she flips. I don't know. What
Oh,
she's
yeah,
doing.
yeah, I
She got
saw
big.
it.
She got big Emma Stone eyes. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's like,
Emma Stone is probably the most evolved creature
probably
on this planet.
makes
Yeah.
sense. She's so talented.
She's got a big
She
forehead.
can't
big eyes.
dance though. I love her, but she can't dance.
She can't?
No, it's
From
so
La La?
sad. I love her so much, but she can't dance. And I always want her to dance. And I'm like, you could do it. And she's like,
Well, it's probably good she's not. It's probably good she's not good at everything.
yeah.
Right?
It's relatable.
Like,
but
can Meryl Streep dance? How
Probably
does that
not.
end? But she could.
She'd learn.
She'd learn.
Yeah.
She'd be like, I'd become an expert in a second.
Yeah. Or she would just create a dance. It would be like, that's dance.
That's dancing now.
That's what dancing looks like now.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true. Guys, moving on, summer's heating up, and so is a slate of movies, TV shows, and music we can look forward to. Today, we serve you our favorites and what's on our watch list for the upcoming months.
Woo, woo.
I'll kick things off. The Lion King. Are you
my
guys excited for The
God.
Lion King?
Finally.
Yeah.
You guys are medium. I cannot wait. This was one of my, this and Aladdin were my favorite. As I mentioned, my Princess Jasmine, Hammer Pants.
Have you seen Aladdin?
What do you mean?
The live action.
The live action.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
But it got bad reviews.
Oh, I
right?
thought you meant you're looking forward to seeing the live action Aladdin.
Oh, no, I meant like the old school ones. But
Oh.
this one looks really good. The casting is on point. Obviously, I've commented on Beyonce playing Nala, and I'm concerned about her acting, even though it's just animated. But still, like, I'm pumped. You guys are a little concerned about Beyonce acting.
has the perfect
You're
voice.
so brave. I honestly think you're like one of the bravest people to speak out about Beyonce
Yeah.
like that.
To the Beehive, we love Beyonce
Yeah.
so much. Brittany is a huge Beyonce fan. We love her.
I'm a
We're
huge
so-
Beyonce fan.
Huge,
I
we're
know,
huge.
but even as a big fan, saying something, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Look, I'm just saying on the internet, I've seen you guys. The Agency, I understand. I love her too, but she's not the best
Excuse me,
actress.
obsessed?
Can I say that?
Obsessed? You come into my house and you touch my child?
Guys, stop
no
talking
one
about Beyonce.
touches my child.
Yeah.
I'm Foxy Cleopatra, and I'm
I
a
just
whole
want to say,
lot
her
of
voice
woman.
is so beautiful. Not just the singing voice, her
Yeah.
speaking
Yes.
voice. So I could
It's so
feel that
soft.
sort of melodic tone for Nala.
Yeah.
And Donald Glover and John Oliver. See someone who does
Oh
have
my
a
God,
deep
And Billy
John
Eichner.
Oliver.
Billy Eichner.
Billy
James
Eichner.
Earl
One of the
Jones
best singing voices
as
of all time.
Yes.
Mufasa.
Wait.
Billy Eichner. You just said yes.
I'm just,
I was like, really?
Also,
I
the
love Billy Eichner.
technology that we're going to see is so cool that this is
Yeah.
animation but live action. And I don't think we've ever seen anything like this before and how it was filmed and how, just not, Avatar was kind of the next step in
Space Jam.
3D and special effects, and this will be.
So don't tell me about animation and live action together, because I've seen Space Jam.
That's a great movie as well. Another thing I'm looking forward to that already came out on June 21st is Mark Ronson's album. It is so good. It's like the kind of album you put on when you're having a barbecue, but people haven't shown up yet, and you're just like doing finishing touches, and people start to kind of like casually come in. It's like that kind of vibe.
Right.
Does anybody else connect to that narrative?
I don't host, so I don't know
Okay.
what you're talking about. It gives me anxiety to host things.
Okay, well, it's called Late Night Feelings, and it has songs with Alicia Keys, and it has Nothing Breaks Like a Heart with Miley Cyrus, and a bunch of songs with Leaky Lee and Yebba, and it's like just chill vibes. And Mark Ronson is such an amazing producer. He always has this like funk component. Musically, it's always very complicated and produced really well. So it's a good album, in my opinion.
That's exciting.
A good summer jam.
You are so well spoken. I would just fall for any shit that comes out of your mouth. I'm just like, that's a fact.
Facts.
But you're just like, it's so
It's when, you know when I get my
And then
shoulders
Shannon and I talk, and it's like,
Oh, sure. You could have just
Sorry.
spoken for yourself.
She
You
can't help
literally,
herself.
yeah, you
She
literally
can't
could
help
have just
herself.
thrown yourself under the bus because I actually get told all the time that I'm an eloquent queen with
Yes.
knowledge for days.
I'm
okay?
constantly telling Shannon how,
I
like,
knew
Yeah.
right before I said that I was a
Inspired
little
she is.
worried.
I know.
agree.
Whenever you're like going down in the trash can, you get crab mentality, and you're like, I'm gonna bring Shannon down with me, and I'm like, bitch, nah.
I don't know what happened to her as a child.
It
I don't
feels
know.
Yeah, I don't know. You can be alone sometimes.
No! Misery's better with company.
Oh, what are you guys excited for?
I think you're next.
Oh, I thought we nixed that.
Oh.
I'm excited for Spider-Man
there's another Spider-Man.
And that.
Far From Home. It's gonna be a really great film.
You're making
Wait,
this
is
up.
Jake Gyllenhaal playing like Spider-Man's
No,
dad?
No, yeah, this is my pick. I actually, I love this. You thought I was joking?
I thought that was a fake film.
No, it's good. Look, Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. Tom Holland's
Wow.
in it.
Wait.
Zendaya's in it. It's a great cast.
I've
They've
never
been
But
doing
who
good.
does Jake play? Is he like a Spidey dad? He's wearing like a uniform.
No, he's not a Spidey dad.
Wait, okay, so Shannon, clarify this. This is the 500th Spider-Man movie we've seen in the past 10 years, but it's the second one in this
Yeah.
in this Marvel Avengers.
Homecoming.
Yeah, Homecoming was the.
Do they always have to say home in this?
I think so.
Maybe,
contractually.
yeah. Maybe it's all about home.
What's the third one gonna be? Home Away from Home?
Home Alone.
Yeah.
Home Alone? Spider-Man
just
Home
remake it.
He's
Alone?
gonna be like, go Web, go! Ah!
Spider-Man Homo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
that's a good one.
Well, they missed Pride Month. They can't have it outside of Pride.
Oh no.
What's your other thing?
I forgot what it was. Oh, I thought we were gonna have natural conversations. My bad. Succession. Have you guys seen the show Succession? I hate shows about rich people normally, but this show's really, really well written, and every character in this show is such an asshole and so funny and such a sociopath that, like, I just think it's great character.
That's a
work.
review of Bill Brunch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're all
also that.
narcissists.
I
love it.
resisted
I
this
love
show for so long because I didn't want to watch another rich white family ruin America because
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
that in real life. But everyone talks about it with such high praise that it's so well written, it's funny, it's dramatic. I gotta get into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I resisted it for so long. And you know I fucking hate rich people. You
Yeah.
know I hate rich people. Eat the rich. But this show is just like, it's really, really funny and
Right.
dark and great. And, you know,
Are there hookups in it?
hookups?
sex
No,
scenes?
there's not really that much genitals. If you're looking for genitals, watch Euphoria.
Right.
Although not enough dicks. You know, we covered this story on the show prematurely because we hadn't seen the episode. It wasn't out yet. But literally, episode 2 of Euphoria needed more dicks. 100%. It was part of the story, and everything that they were trying to, like the point that they were trying to get across, needed those extra 80 dicks
For the
that
locker room
HBO
scene?
edited out. Yeah, did you watch the episode?
I did.
Yeah.
Did you need more dicks as well?
The whole time, because Shannon told me yesterday that they needed more dicks, so I went into it specifically on the lookout for it. And I thought that, I understand how you wanted a little more. I was comfortable with the amount, but I see how more would have really driven the point home.
Yeah, I feel like
Happy to
it,
have
like
you.
in the script, earned it in the point, and it was just like very important. Because it's like, okay, I think there was 30 dicks on screen, but like dicks don't read as dicks really. Like they're just.
I only
felt
saw
like I
4.
saw like I thought like tops 5.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you edited out 80 dicks and left us with like 3 dicks. Like
Right.
that's
So that would have, with the 80 other dicks, it would have been like 15 dicks.
yeah.
At home, if you're drinking every time they said dick, I'm sorry, you're drunk now.
They're done.
Yeah.
Allie?
I'm really looking forward to that movie Yesterday
Oh.
about the guy who is the only one who remembers the Beatles and then like uses their songs to, I guess, ascend to wealth and
Right.
fame.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like my fantasy.
Right.
And also, on a more personal note, Bring the Funny premieres July 9th, which I will be a part of.
Yeah.
Woo!
I don't know if I'm going to be on which episode, but yeah, tune in and check it out.
But if you guys remember when Allie was gone for like a month, basically,
yeah, I was out
in
there
LA?
taping that
she was
thing.
out taping this show, and now it's coming out. We're excited.
Yeah,
to see
I'm
it.
excited.
We're very excited. Excited to watch Allie on NBC.
Woo!
Ding, ding, dong.
Ding ding.
I have 2 things I'm really excited for. I'm, as you all know, a total fantasy nerd, and when I was a little kid, every time I visited my grandparents' house, I would watch The Dark Crystal. And it's a movie by Jim Henson, and it's about these, like, it's with puppets, and it's about this fantasy world ruled by these evil Skeksis or whatever. Anyway, Netflix is doing a prequel series called Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, coming out August 30th. I'm super pumped. If you are in Game of Thrones, you know, if you're missing Game of Thrones or you're mad how it ended, you need a new fantasy show. I think this will help before we get to the Lord of the Rings series come out on Amazon. I'm really pumped for this.
Is it Jim Henson?
Jim Henson, yes. Jim Henson is the guy, you know, the big
puppet.
puppet guy. So he did this movie in 82.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, are there puppets in it?
Yes, they're all puppets.
Oh, have you never seen it?
You never seen this?
The Dark Crystal?
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Oh, I know. I've never. I
Oh,
thought this
it's-
was something Lucas was just making up.
No.
Oh no.
Wait, what? I mean, I could make this up, probably.
Wait, have you seen that meme where it's like there's like a little puppet, like
Yeah.
weird puppet girl with big eyes, and they say it's Mary Kate?
Oh yeah.
That's from this movie.
Oh, that thing's creepy.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good.
Yes, this
I
will be
love
a
how you
prequel.
can, like, if someone hasn't seen a film, you can pull like just a meme from
meme,
it,
yeah.
and they're like, oh, I just thought that was a random thing.
But
Yeah.
it was invented to be on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Like that little
puppet.
thing that just looks decrepit.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
Also already came out a week ago, but I have to give her a shout out. Madonna, the queen of pop. If you guys don't know who she is, youngsters, she's the original Lady Gaga. And if you don't know Lady Gaga, it's the original Billie Eilish. Madonna's 14th studio album hit #1 this week. This is her 9th #1. She's after 37 years in the game. Overall, this album, there's some songs that make you think, what the fuck, Madonna, are you thinking? A lot of thoughts we think recently with her, like, don't listen to Killers or Partying. But some songs like God Control and Crave and Come Alive are really interesting. And I think in the past few years, Madonna's made some good songs, good albums, but not really invented new music like she used to. I think she's kind of been following, like, getting Timberland, Justin Timberlake, Pharrell, great producers, but making sounds that pretty much Rihanna could do, Beyonce could do, and it's totally fine. And made great concerts, good music. But this album, at least, she really tried to make something different. Some songs, clearly this should have been something, hey, maybe we should do another pass on these lyrics. But some songs, like God Control, are insane, but only Madonna could make that song.
Right.
So as a fan, I appreciate it. And also want to give a shout out to this article, because HuffPost, we love HuffPost. It's on Hating Madonna by Matthew Jacobs. Really interesting article about her and culture today, and I recommend everyone read it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Or give this
Wow,
album a
you just
listen.
gave us homework for
I love
Yeah.
it.
the night.
You know, that's me. I give homework, I state some facts.
I love that.
Yeah.
But I love most of Madonna's records. I can't listen to all the way through. She just has like a couple bangers. So
Right.
I get that. Like if she has like 3 or 4 songs, you're like, all right, that's a good album.
I mean, there's like the Ray of Light, True Blue, the classic ones, but like this is ones like, okay, maybe we'll reflect back when hopefully she'll outlive us all probably and look the same. But it's one of these albums like, you know what, she was 60, she did this. She took some chances. I appreciate
She
it.
is 60.
And she's performing at Pride this weekend, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
At Pride Island. I cannot get tickets because they are $1,000, but I will be trying to see her on tour this fall.
Oh, well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank
Well,
you for
guys,
supporting me.
that's all from us today. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same table.